Jalen Phillips. Just hearing the name gets you pumped, right? This guy has been the heart of Miami's defense, one of those players that makes you feel like, no matter what, the Dolphins have a shot. But once again, for the second year in a row, Phillips has been hit with another devastating injury that's taking him out for the rest of the season. Can you even believe that? Phillips made the announcement himself through a post on Instagram saying that he's going to need reconstructive surgery on his knee. Yeah, that's right, we're talking about another season cut short. You can feel the pain in his words. He didn't hold back. He straight up said, "I've got unfinished business, but I'm coming out of this victorious." That's the kind of mentality you'd expect from him. He's always been a fighter, someone who refuses to back down, no matter how tough the situation gets. This whole thing started during Monday's game against the Titans. You could almost feel it when it happened. Third quarter, non-contact injury, Phillips goes down. And at that moment, you're thinking, not again. Not this guy. Not this year. This was only his fourth game back since coming off a torn Achilles that ruined his 2023 season. And now, here we are, again talking about him missing the rest of the year. Brutal doesn't even begin to cover it. Phillips' journey has been anything but easy. After recording 15.5 sacks across his first two seasons, 2023 was looking like his year. Through 8 games, he already had 6.5 sacks and was absolutely balling. Everything was lining up for him to break out in a huge way. And then, boom, that season-ending injury hit. Non-contact. And if you've been following football long enough, you know that those are the ones that tend to hurt the most. 3 months. That's how long Phillips couldn't even walk after the Achilles tear. Can you imagine that? Going from not being able to walk to getting yourself back on the field, battling through rehab, just to suit up again for your team? And now, less than a year later, he's facing another grueling rehab process. Another battle, another mountain to climb. He wrote in his post, "I bleed for this game and my team. I'm devastated to have to miss another season, but my resolve has never been stronger." You can't help but feel that. You know he means every word of it. It's tough to swallow, knowing that Phillips is now sidelined until 2025. ESPN's Adam Schefter confirmed that Phillips hopes to return next season, but we all know how long and unpredictable recoveries can be. And even though Miami exercised his fifth-year option, locking him in for 2025, it's just not the same as having him on the field right now, terrorizing quarterbacks, and lifting up the defense when they need it the most. Before the injury, Phillips had recorded a sack, knocked down a couple of passes, and made 6 tackles in his limited appearances this season. It wasn't the same dominant force we saw last year, but he was getting there. You could feel it building. He was getting closer to that form that made him so dangerous in the first place. And now the Dolphins are left without one of their top defensive players. It's not like the timing could be any worse either. Miami's already sitting at 1-3, trying to claw their way back after a rough start to the season. Tua Tagovailoa is still out, and it's looking like Raheem Mostert might be joining him on the injury list too. With so many key players missing, the Dolphins are running out of bodies to keep things afloat. Let's not forget about the pass rush either. Miami had one of the scariest pass rushes in the league last season, finishing 3rd overall with 56 sacks. Now, 7 sacks in 4 games. Yeah, that's not going to cut it. Without Phillips, they're going to need rookies like Chop Robinson and Mohamed Kamara to step up big time. The pressure is on Emmanuel Ogbah and Quentin Bell too. They've got to find a way to spark this defense, because right now, it's looking rough. And there's still a question mark hanging over Bradley Chubb. He's out too, recovering from his own torn ACL. The team's hoping he can come back this season, but nothing is guaranteed. Even if he does return, will he be enough to fill the gap that Phillips leaves behind? It's a tough road ahead for the Dolphins' defense. Phillips was their spark, their energy. And now, it's up to everyone else to find a way to keep the fire burning. One thing's for sure, though, Phillips will be watching, and when he comes back, you better believe he'll be ready to take care of that unfinished business.